Elle went over this. If you have any questions, feel free to chat them in the chat box or just raise your hand using the GoToWebinar hand raiser, and Elle will note that and hopefully interrupt me, and we'll answer any questions that you have. Basically, today's agenda is to just tell you all about Pinterest and how you can use it best for your business, answer any of your questions, and then let you go forth and prosper on Pinterest. So a little background about Pinterest. Is only a couple years old, and when it first launched, it was an invite-only site that was for personal users, and I think most people have at least heard about it, if not are using it themselves, and it's grown exponentially in like the last 2 years, and Pinterest themselves have sort of realized how useful it is for businesses and brands, and so just recently, I think 2 weeks ago, officially opened up Pinterest for businesses, and have like official business accounts that companies can join to brand their company even further. A couple of quick stats. According to Blogger, 47% of U.S. online consumers have made a purchase based on recommendations from Pinterest. So that's really great stats for companies to see and know that, like, oh, I should probably be putting my products or services out there and maybe get more business and use this social network to try and gain more leads. Additionally, Shareaholic says Pinterest generated more referral traffic for businesses than Google+, YouTube, and LinkedIn combined, which is pretty big, basically making it just behind like Facebook and Twitter. So as I said, Pinterest just launched Pinterest for businesses, and they have all these nice little new layout for businesses, and where you can go and sign up for your company, or if you were an early adopter and got on Pinterest super fast and just have been sort of faking your way as a person but with a brand name Pinterest account, you can convert your account and officially have your business name rather than username being like a personal page. So if you don't know what Pinterest is, it's basically just an online pinboard style photo sharing site, which is sort of a mouthful, but it's basically just if anyone sees a picture on the web and they want to remember whatever that picture is associated with, they pin it to their Pinterest board. So it's very visually oriented, it gets frequently updated, and as I stated before, a lot of people are joining it, especially since Pinterest is no longer invite-only, and they opened it to brands, so even more people are starting to sign up for it. Why should businesses be on Pinterest? It's great like for self and brand promotion, as many social networks are, such as Facebook and Twitter. So it's just another one that companies kind of have to be aware of and hopefully make a presence on there. It also is great for SEO. Not only are there many opportunities for businesses to use keywords and links to their site, but every pin actually links back to the source. So if you or other users are pinning something from your site, it's giving you a direct link back to your website. If you choose to, you can connect Facebook and Twitter, so you can share your pins with Facebook and Twitter followers and to reach a broader audience. And then Pinterest is just great because hopefully everyone on it is new and interacting with a new and broader community with people you weren't necessarily reaching on Facebook and Twitter. So here's some quick examples about what I was talking about specifically for businesses. Everything that I've highlighted in red is kind of great opportunity for businesses to describe their company and use keywords to hopefully boost their SEO in addition to just using Pinterest. So when you have your Pinterest profile, you have the opportunity to just explain what your company is doing, a little about me section, as with many social networks. And as you can see, Ajax Union, we've described ourselves, and we've also used a couple of our keywords that we're focusing on, like business development and marketing. And also, like many other social networks, especially Twitter, you can use a hashtag feature in Pinterest to help with searching. So I have an example here from Whole Foods and how they did hashtag Cabernet Day. It's just an easier way to organize your pins and make it easier for searchers who are looking for something specific to hashtag. So you can create a whole board with a hashtag, or anytime you want to specifically pin something and make sure people can easily find it, you can add a hashtag for whatever, if it's a trending topic or a keyword you're trying to push. We could have done it for Cyber Monday, Black Friday, anything really. And then in each individual pin, which is I took this dog from the ASPCA Pinterest, so you can see there's a little place. I think you have 500 characters to write a description, so you can get pretty long if you want to. I recommend a couple sentences, but it's definitely a great opportunity for people to not only describe what the pin is, but use a couple of keywords at the same time to help bolster any SEO efforts. So, in case all of that seemed a little overwhelming, let's go run over the pinner's lingo real quick. So, a board is simply a collection of all your pins, and it allows users to easily organize their interests. A pin is the item that you post to your board, and as I said before, this links back to whatever the original source was. So if you are pinning a recipe or a blog post or a shirt you like, whatever it is, it goes back to what the direct source. A repin is when a user is on Pinterest and sees an item that's already pinned and reposts it. You can either repost it, simply hit repin and do nothing, or this you can fill in the description with your own message. So again, this is great for businesses as a way to interact with users and potential customers by repinning their things, but then you can also write your own description and maybe use, say a message with your own keywords or linking to your site. And then there's also likes, which are slightly less personal than repins. It's more for something if you want to remember, but you don't necessarily want it to be public to all of your followers. So you can just put it in your likes, and it won't go on your boards. So what are some of the best things to do on Pinterest as a business? You have to really remember who your target consumer is. I think Pinterest can work for both B2C and B2B companies, so I think service-based and product-based businesses have the same amount of opportunity to be successful on Pinterest. You just really have to think about who you are, and like every social networking site, you don't want to just be blatantly self-promoting and spamming. So this is an example of Ajax and their Pinterest, and here's just a couple of boards. And so you want to make sure that you're doing a variety of different things that are interesting to your followers. So even though Ajax sells vacuum cleaners, they don't just have 8 different boards about vacuum cleaners. Like, one is about sanding floors, so that's good. Obviously, their consumers and followers are probably looking about how to keep their house and floors clean. They also have furry friends, which again goes along the same lines of cleaning and having to deal with pet hair, but it's not blatant self-promotion of our vacuum cleaner is the best at picking up pet hair. It's a much more fun way to showcase pets that you all love and have, and still interacting with people without just hitting them over the head. So you want to make sure you're doing fun things and thinking of your clientele and really getting creative with what you pin. Again, another thing to do if you're maybe a service-based business is to showcase your employees or customers. As you can see, there's Craig and Nathan and Jamie and Tom, and this is from a gym on Pinterest, and so these are all their personal trainers, so you can really see who the people are behind the company. And this is great for people who might be interested. You can all post a little bio about them, and people can get to know them before actually going in and know, like, oh, this person kind of most closely fits with my fitness goals. Of course, I want to go to that gym instead of the other one that's not even on Pinterest. And then one really great thing to think about and take advantage of is any sort of trending topics. So here's an example I took from a clothing company, and they did all Olympic-inspired pieces. So that was around the Olympics, but again, you could like around now. It's, of course, you want to take advantage of any of the holiday sales. So definitely just thinking about any holidays, events, or trending topics. You can find trending topics if you're not sure. You can definitely just look at Twitter, or I think even Google has trending topics to see if any of them relate to your business and you could take advantage of them. And if you just joined Pinterest and you want to see if anyone has been pinning stuff from your site, one thing to do is to go to the URL http pinterest.com/source and then type in your specific website URL. So in this case, I typed in the pinterest.com/source/modcloth, which is a clothing company, and it will show you a list of all the pins that have been pinned from ModCloth. So as you can see, there have been, this is just a quick screenshot of 5, but they're all from 5 different users. So this is great if a business just joins Pinterest and they want to find people that are already interested in their stuff. You can type in this URL with your company's domain and easily find hundreds of new followers and possible customers who are already interested in your product or service. Another thing you'll want to make sure you do is follow users as they engage with you. It's always a good practice on social media to sort of follow back people. So Pinterest makes it easy when you're in your dashboard. They'll have friends to follow, and you can see that, and you can quickly follow people as they are also signing up for Pinterest. Pinterest also provides a feed of recent activity, so you can see all the things you pin and who is repinning them and who is liking them. So if you don't know any of those people, that's a perfect opportunity to go through and also follow their boards. Again, just good social media etiquette, and if they're repinning things that you pin, they probably like what you're doing and are interested in your company. And you may also want to find and follow any of your competitors' followers. Again, you can use this the Pinterest/source/URL and put in your competitor's URL to find any followers that are pinning things from their site. So like, let's say you're a cooking site. This example is just a pin from Betty Crocker. So if you're a recipe site or blog or whatever, and you want to find people who are interested in food, you could do any competitor and then just follow all those people because they'll probably also be interested in the things that you are pinning. So when you sign up, as I said, Pinterest has now launched business profiles. So you'll need your brand name. You used to have make sure you had a first and last name, but with the new sign up, you just need your brand name. And so you can do this to sign up for the new business account. You can just go to business.pinterest.com, and they'll have a form for you to fill out there. It's really simple. You just need, like I said, business name, an email, and a password, and you're good to go. A tip that you want to make sure when you're in settings that your profile can get indexed by search engines. So you want to make sure that that little button is switched to off. And as I said, when you sign up, you just want to start thinking about getting creative and really figuring out how Pinterest can best work for you. So whether that's creating a lifestyle boards or resources boards or using your followers to help use a user-generated pin board. And you could even, there's been lots of companies and brands out there who have run successful Pinterest promotions. This was one of our clients that we did for them earlier this year. And it was What I Love About Spring, and it was simply giving away a drink dispenser, but the way it helped them was it not only was there cross-promotional between Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter, but it was a great way to encourage Pinterest users to visit the company, which was Classic Hostess, visit their website, see their products, pin 4 or 5 or 6, I don't remember, four things from their site, and that they wanted to have in an ideal world, and that entered them in the chance to win the dispenser. So this encourage people to go visit their site and also helped provide backlinks to their site and also helped spread the word to other Pinterest users who may not have heard of Classic Coaches by seeing the pins and repinning them and going and visiting for themselves and entering the contest. Another really innovative contest that I saw was from Sony, and they were doing something a little different. They were doing, they would unlock certain deals once it had been repinned so many times, which I thought was really great. So if you have any deals like that, you can certainly just say, you know, we want to make sure that the 20 people see this. So once you get 20 repins, at least 20 people have seen it, and then the deal is unlocked. So in this case, you know, once 20 people repin it, they got 65% off, and there's free shipping as well. So that's really great. And once you join Pinterest, you want to tell everyone you can about it. You want to make sure you add follow buttons on your website and your blog. This will encourage people who visit your website and maybe don't know you're on Pinterest to see that and go visit you. So you can easily install those from the Pinterest Goodies pages, which is pinterest.com/about/goodies. You may also want to add a pin it button for your website. This is similar to the Facebook like button or tweet it button that you may also already have on your site. Again, this is on the goodies page, and this is a great way to invite visitors to your website to pin your items to their own Pinterest page. Okay, now I wanted to go through a couple of free tools that are available to anyone. And these are great for businesses who are on Pinterest and want to be able to figure out how to do certain things. So first is Pick Marker. All of them, unfortunately, have some weird spellings, like Pick Marker and Pixlr in the vein of Tumblr. So it's pickmarker.com. And this allows people to easily add a watermark to any of their copyrighted photos. This is great for businesses who maybe want to share some of their pictures on Pinterest but are afraid of maybe other people stealing them and taking them as their own. You can quickly visit Pickmarker, upload the picture, add a watermark for free, pin it to Pinterest, and then you know that that photo has your copyright. I chose an annoying one that watermarks all across the picture just so you guys could all see it. But there's less annoying ones like in the corner and, you know, so whatever you prefer, but just to make sure that you have your copyright if anyone's worried about that. Also, one of the popular pins on Pinterest are tall pins. So a great way to get that, like this one that we have, as an example, 29 ways to stay creative. That's a bit of a taller pin. You can use a photo editor like Photoshop, but maybe you don't have the money to buy Photoshop. You can use a free online photo editor called Pixlr. This way you can quickly resize and correct and add text to any of your photos. And it's great for, like I said, making tall pins. So maybe you have a before or after photo shoot you're trying to show and you want to pin to Pinterest, or any sort of tutorial where you want to show steps 1 through 5. This is all, Pixlr is a great way for you to easily do that and then upload the pin onto Pinterest. So Woobox is currently the only way to connect your Pinterest to a Facebook fan page. I'm hoping this will change now that Pinterest has expanded their company to include brands, that maybe they'll also figure out a way to link it to Facebook brand pages. But right now there's no way to do it directly through Pinterest. So if you go to Woobox, you can easily create an app that shows up. So this is Sephora's Pinterest, and it's showing up on Sephora's Facebook page. And then when you click on the app, you can see the Pinterest dashboard just as you would if you were in Pinterest. And then when you click on any of those pictures, it would take me directly to Sephora's Pinterest page. And also we have Infogram. This is a great way to make infographics. all you need to have is the data ready, and then you input it into the program, and it makes a graph for you, and you can choose whatever, pie chart or bar graph, line graph, whatever one displays your information best. This is a really great idea for any service-based industry who maybe is like, well, I don't have any product pictures to pin, so what can I pin? Well, you can definitely still provide useful information to Pinterest users and just tell them with an informative infographic. And finally, Pingraphy is great for businesses who want to be active on Pinterest, maybe don't have a bunch of time. This is a way to schedule pins. So it allows users to upload pins in bulk, then you can schedule them so they're filtered throughout the day, so you're not like adding 10 or 20 pins at once and then don't show up and log back into Pinterest for a couple of days. This is a better way to be consistent. And the great thing about Pingraphy is it also provides metrics about Pinterest followers, so you can learn about all the things you pin and repin and like and clicks and how far each pin went. It lets you form a good campaign and maybe see what your top performing boards are, what's the best thing for your company to pin to Pinterest. It also can tell you about your followers and maybe the best time for you and your business to be active on Pinterest. Are your pinners really active at 9 o'clock in the morning, or is it better for you to be sharing your pins at 5 o'clock at night, or maybe even on the weekend? So I think that's it. Wrapped up. Are there any questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Leslie. I do see a bunch of questions, so I'm just going to toss them out at you. So the first question I see is, can you change your Pinterest username?
Yes, you certainly can. You can change it unlimited amount of times. So maybe if you're worried because you signed up as a personal user and now you want to convert to a business, that's certainly possible to just quickly change it to your company name or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. And how much time should you spend on Pinterest? I know it gets a little bit addictive, but...
Yes, it can certainly get addictive very fast. I would say for businesses, they should spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes every day just going in and making sure they're keeping fresh content and interacting with their users. And then again, Pingraphy is a great tool to use if you're a little crunched for time and you only can go in at Monday morning and do it. Just upload them all at once and then follow new people that way if that works best for you.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And another question I see is, how do you add a price to a pin?
Okay, this is great for any products out there and you want to share the price on your pin. All you have to do is when you're typing in the description, simply type the money sign and the price, and Pinterest automatically adds that little banner with the price over the photo that you may have seen.
Okay. Awesome. I do see a few more questions rolling in, and if anybody else has any questions, I definitely encourage you to type those in, and we'll make sure to get those answered right now. So I see a question that says, do you need the Pin It button on your site in order to pin items from your site onto your board?
When you sign up for Pinterest, it'll ask you to install the Pinterest button onto your toolbar, which you will need if you want to personally pin anything to Pinterest, whether you're doing it personally or as your company. And then if you add the Pin It button to your website, that'll invite any visitor to pin it to Pinterest.
Got it. And last question I'm seeing, unless anybody else has any other questions to ask, if we already have a bunch of pin boards with keywords in the title but no hashtags, will those keywords not be as effective as if had they had hashtags? That makes sense.
Okay. They're still effective SEO-wise, and you can certainly search with or without a hashtag in Pinterest. So I don't think you need to go back and change anything if that's what you're worried about. You don't need to edit a board. I just think right now in Pinterest it is easier to search with hashtags sometimes because their search feature is, I think, still a little in its beta mode since the website is new. So I would suggest in the future, if you want to make sure people are finding, if you're running like a contest, would be a really good time to use a hashtag with your keywords so that you can easily sort people who are pinning pins to you with that hashtag that's part of your contest. But I think it's still effective and people will still be able to find your pins if they're searching with or without hashtags.
Mm-hmm. And then piggybacking off that, another question is, do hashtag keywords always show up in the searches?
They should. If you search with a hashtag, it should. But again, I think Pinterest needs to improve their search functionality.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've had trouble with it sometimes when I'm searching for something. I search like, okay, personally I search for nail art a lot, and I feel like I get the same pin over and over again. I'm like, that's not what I wanted Pinterest. So then you have to sort of figure out as a searcher how to refine your search. So hopefully they'll improve that all around.
And last question I'm seeing, unless somebody else has any other questions, do people tend to prefer nicer pictures to repin rather than, I guess, bland images?
Yes, Pinterest is extremely visual, and I think pretty pictures, unfortunately, will get the best interaction, which is why I think if you want to use any of the free tools to really help bolster an image, that would be best. Or if you have a graph that like you kind of just made, it would be better to go into Infogram and kind of spice it up and make it with a pretty design. Um, because yes, Pinterest is very, very, very visual.
Absolutely. And for all of you guys who joined in, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Pinterest, we actually just released a Pinterest ebook, and the ebook covers Pinterest for Business. I just sent everybody the link to the ebook in the chat box. It's a free download. All you have to do is fill out a small form with your name and just your company information, but otherwise it's completely free, and it's a complimentary tool from Ajax. Leslie actually wrote the book, so I don't know if you want to maybe detail it a little bit more.
Yeah, if you have any further questions, I would definitely recommend reading the book. I go into a little bit more detail, and I cover most of the same things, but just a little more in depth. And also, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. It's Leslie B, as in boy, at ajaxunion.com.
Perfect. And speaking of more presentations and seminars in general, our CEO, Joe Apfelbaum, is actually going to be leading a seminar very soon. It's going to be on December 17th, and I'm going to send the link in the chat box as well. And because we really, really appreciate you guys all signing up and taking the time to learn a little bit about Pinterest and how it can optimize your business, we're even going to give you guys 25% off for the price of a ticket. I think it comes out to a little bit less than $30, and it's going to be a really great workshop. So the code for that is webinar 1217. So webinar 1217. And if you follow the link that I just posted for the seminar, it's just going to be a really cool opportunity to learn a little bit about using SEO to also optimize your ranking on search engines. And we do recommend that as well. And otherwise, let me just take another quick look at the questions. I think we were able to get everything answered, unless anybody else has any other questions. I think we may be good. If you guys do have other questions, I'm just going to type in my email and Leslie's email as well. So ls@ajaxunion.com. You can always just email me, and I will direct all your Pinterest questions to Leslie. cb@ajaxunion.com. So feel free to always contact us. We'll make sure to get all your questions answered. And thank you guys so much for joining in on our webinar. I do see a question asking if this presentation will be available afterwards. It definitely will. Just contact me directly at that email, and I'll make sure to email it out to you. Otherwise, thank you so much, and Leslie, thank you for hosting this presentation.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys at our next webinar. Thanks, guys.